We've got another good one from the late 1970s. It's The Absorbing Man versus the Avengers. So welcome to Kevin's commentary on comics. Today I'm going to do another two-part review of a story from my favorite book of all time, The Avengers. This is a tale from mid-1979. I was a mere lad of 14 years old, and I remember being so into The Avengers at that time, I had to get each issue when it came out from probably a local spinner rack. I don't think comic book stores were big at that point in time. I was probably getting them from a 7-Eleven or a bookstore or something along those lines. So let's start with issue 183, The Redoubtable Return of Crusher Creel. This is by David Michelinie, John Byrne, and Klaus Janson. And by the way, this story looks good, but I'm not sure Klaus Janson was the best inker or embellisher for John Byrne. It's not bad, but not as crisp and clean as I usually like to see Byrne's artwork. So this one starts out with Miss Marvel going through security as a new member of the Avengers. You see, in an issue or two before, Peter Gyrich, who is rumored to be making an appearance in the upcoming Captain America Civil War movie, which is coming out next year, can't wait, he put severe restrictions on the Avengers, including naming who their team members should be. And for those who don't remember, that lineup was Iron Man, Captain America, the Vision, the Wasp, Scarlet Witch, the Beast, and the Falcon, who had never been an Avenger before. Unfortunately, the Scarlet Witch decided to take a leave of absence to be with who she thought was her father at the time, which is a tale for another time, folks. Fortunately, they replaced her with one of my all-time favorite female heroes, Miss Marvel, who is now called Captain Marvel. Why is she my favorite? Well, look at that costume. It's so great. I love it. She's hot, first of all. Now, granted, it's a comic book character, and they pretty much make all comic book females hot, but she was really hot. And that costume was so much better than the one she wore originally. Plus, she just had a cool power set and was just awesome altogether. I loved her. Unfortunately, she's not all that thrilled about having her fingerprints taken since it compromises her secret identity. Yes, they used to have those back in the day. Tony Stark comes up with a pretty good plan to use retina prints instead, and Gyrich reluctantly agrees because Gyrich just can't agree wholeheartedly. As that is going on, we get some of the day-to-day Avengers Mansion stuff that was always so cool to see back in the day, and really just doesn't happen much anymore. The garbage men can't get a dumpster full of discarded lab parts, so Iron Man lends a hand, and the Beast dumps in a couple bags as well. By the way, this is when the Beast was at his best, and no wonder he became my most favoritist hero of all time. Now, after all that garbage is thrown into the city garbage dump, Crusher Creel, the Absorbing Man, finally manages to collect all the pieces of his shattered body together after they were smashed to bits when he turned into glass back in Hulk number 209. Now, he's mad and he has something to do. But what? We'll have to wait and see as we take a peek at Steve Rogers, Captain America, talking to Sam Wilson, the Falcon, maybe into joining the Avengers. Now, Sam isn't crazy about being the token black man on the team, but Cap pleads that the Avengers will lose all of their security privileges if he doesn't join and asks him to do it as a favor to him. Of course, Sam agrees. So, just to mark the significance of this issue, this is where both Miss Marvel / Captain Marvel and the Falcon officially join the Avengers. Now, Miss Marvel became a long-standing member, and Sam eventually becomes Captain America, so this issue is a considerable milestone in Avengers history. So back to Crusher Creel, he breaks into a clothing store to grab some clothes and some money. He uses his absorbing powers to get at the safe and takes the woman who was in the store hostage. Now at the docks, Clint Barton, Hawkeye, sees Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, off as she leaves on a ship with her supposed father. And I believe Quicksilver is in there too. Hawkeye is still pretty upset that he was not picked to be on the newly revised Avengers roster and isn't sure what to do with his life, so he ponders it over a cup of coffee when who else but Crusher Creel comes in to the same diner. He knocks Clint's coffee into his lap. Clint tries to confront him, but his fists of flesh are no match to a body made of formica. At this point, all hell breaks loose and Clint changes into Hawkeye. Again, his identity was a secret back then. You see, secret identities, they used to be cool, but now basically no one has one. Hawkeye tries to stop the Absorbing Man, but let's face it, that's pretty tough when a guy can change into anything he touches. Luckily, he gets back up in the form of the Avengers. Crusher Creel smashes through the ship he's on and the Avengers begin to search for him, but they don't have to search for too long as Creel has absorbed the power of the ship's turbines, which in addition to making him super hot, has caused him to grow in size. Surely the Avengers are doomed! Well, maybe not, but that's for next time. For now, I'm Kevin, and that was my commentary. What did you think of the Absorbing Man? They've used him in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for the TV version of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but based on these issues, I really don't know why. He would be an excellent big screen villain. I suppose it could still happen, and I certainly hope so. Seeing him change quickly into different forms and materials and all that would be really, really cool on a movie effects budget as opposed to a TV special effects budget. Your thoughts on Crusher Creel? Leave them in the comments below. Also, how did you feel about the mandated Avengers roster during this time? When I first read that issue when they mandated the roster, I liked the team, so I was okay, especially since the Beast was still on it. But I was kind of thinking, man, this is gonna suck not having some of my other favorite characters around, like Hawkeye and Wonder Man. But hey, let's face it, the guys never really went anywhere, and I believe Wonder Man actually comes back on the team in a few issues. So it was such a great time to be an Avengers fan. In fact, I think shortly after, I want to say issue 200, maybe around 210 or so, the book kind of went downhill and never really got as good as it was during this time. I know they're more popular now than they've ever been, but that's thanks to the movies, not necessarily the comics. And although there have been some decent stuff in recent years, nothing really compares to the Avengers of the 70s and the early 80s. I'm sure I'm biased, but it's my show, so I can be. So leave a comment below on your thoughts, your memories, your opinions on Earth's greatest heroes. And to see how this story ends up, make sure you check out my next episode, and subscribing only makes that feat so much easier. So until next time, make it a great day, and I'll see ya!